The two of you are turning my son-in-law into a cuckold.
When you accuse Elizabeth of adultery, you accuse me as well.
Were I a younger man, I would thrash you within an inch of your life.
Who did this?
The ring.
The ring is proof of William's demise.
And my husband is dead. Let him lie in peace.
Leave him to me and I'll see you in front of a firing squad!
That was the best one yet.
You've been keeping secrets from me.
You never asked if I could shoot an arrow.
Well, judging from the fact that you couldn't aim a musket 5 months ago, I just figured...
Well, you figured wrong. Here, it's your turn.
Well, hellfire.
You hit the tree.
I was aiming for your arrow. This one's still alive.
No.
What's the matter?
It's my father.
Good God, Longworth.
You know him?
Long ago, from the time I was courting Elizabeth. Look, see to a burial detail for the other man.
Stop pawing at me, Taylor. Step back.
Father, you're all right.
I will be as soon as Taylor and this bumpkin stop manhandling me.
It's Bumpo. Nathaniel Bumpo, sir. Folks call me Hawkeye.
Bumpo? Bumpkin's close enough.
Yes. Well, he seems to be feeling fine now.
Back to his old self.
Well, I'd best be on my way.
You are a long way from Virginia, sir. What are you doing here?
Yes, Father, why are you here?
Is it too much to expect some manner of welcome before the interrogation begins? Taylor, if you don't mind, I'd prefer it if you'd leave us alone.
As you wish. I will have the surgeon come round to have a look at you. It's good to see you, sir. Elizabeth.
Come here and give me a kiss, child. As usual, I'm overwhelmed by your filial warmth.
It isn't that I'm not glad to see you.
It's just that our last leave-taking was something less than pleasant.
A great deal less than pleasant.
Your marriage to William was a disappointment to me.
You made no secret of that.
Yes, well, I preferred Taylor. At least he has a career.
William has a career, Father.
As a merchant?
Yes, as a merchant.
I doubt if he's buying or selling much at the moment, however. Any news of his whereabouts?
No.
Then he may very well be dead.
And he may very well be alive. Father, why are you here? Surely not on a whim.
Your friends ask after you often. God knows why. Perhaps you owe them money.
You came 1,000 miles to tell me that?
No, child. I came to take you home where you belong.
You can't be serious.
As serious as I have ever been.
Well, it's out of the question.
Child, that was not a question. I am still your father, and I still demand your obedience and respect. You will do as I ask.
Father's demand has set my mind spinning. Feelings long forgotten are crowding in, and the reason I married William gnaws at me. The words to get away from my father's overpowering presence echo in my brain, even though I have never spoken them aloud. He cannot make me leave, can he? I am no longer a child, am I?
Now, Mr. Longworth. Good to see you up and about. Feeling better? I guess not.
Let's make sure that we're in agreement. In exchange for the wampum belt, there are 5 yards of gingham, 12 buttons, 3 pounds of rice, and 4 gallons of bleaching. Am I correct?
That's the bargain, ma'am.
Good. I'll put it together for you. Good morning, Father.
Quite the little shopkeeper, aren't we?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Is there something I can get for you?
No, thank you. I'll just stand here and observe. If it's no problem.
No. Not at all.
You were certainly much more graceful on the dance floor.
Dance floors are in scarce supply here, Father.
Then may I suggest you return to where they are not?
It doesn't appear your father is much taken with things here.
He's rarely taken with things in general. I've been meaning to apologize for his rudeness yesterday.
It's his rudeness, not yours. Running into a bear once had the same fine sense of humor.
It's just his way. He means no harm by it.
That's what they said about the bear.
Tell me, Taylor, what is this woodsman to her?
Hawkeye. I suppose they have eventuated a friendship of sorts.
Has she no women friends?
Women are few and far between in this place, save for barmaids and necessaries.
All the more reason to take her home.
Why are you so adamant about her returning to Virginia?
I have my reasons. However, if William is still alive...
If William is alive, then miracles did not end with the Reformation.
Then you do think that he is dead?
Dead and scattered, if I know my savages.
And what if the French have him?
Why would they keep him? Because of his sparkling after-dinner conversation? So many crates of flour, so many pounds of lard.
Still, there's no proof either way.
No. You're right. There is no proof. There is no proof that he's alive or dead.
Elizabeth,
Yes?
finally got this fixed for you.
You didn't have to come all this way.
I figured if I didn't, tonight would be the night you'd need it.
Well, as long as you're here, would you like a cup of tea?
Well, that's very kind. Thank you.
You said 25 pounds. Now, I ain't about to do for no ring. Massachusetts pays 50 pounds for a scalp.
This is not payment, you dolt. When you find the appropriate body, you're to place this on its finger.
And where the devil am I to find a body?
Not a body, a corpse. And some 3 or 4 months old. Scalped, if possible.
Nasty business, Captain.
Then never mind. I will find someone with a stronger stomach.
Let me see the ring. What's his sign?
My family's crest. Over 200 years old. But that is none of your affair. Now, can you retain all this information without getting into hard cider?
Count on it, Captain.
Yes?
Your father, Elizabeth.
Come in.
And what is it you're writing?
Nothing of importance.
You keep a diary, is that what that is?
Yes.
Good. Have you written about me in your remembrances? No matter. If you have, I can surmise the tenor of it myself.
Father, I would never write anything unkind about you.
Unkind? No. I can't imagine you doing anything unkind. You favor your mother in that regard. In most regards, now that I think of it.
She used to say that I reminded her of you.
Only because you were such a willful child.
I was not.
Oh? And what about that archery episode?
That was not willful.
Indeed. No one else thought it proper for a 5-year-old girl to learn to handle a weapon. But you insisted that the only reason that they wouldn't teach you was because you would become more adept than any of the boys. Elizabeth, I should never have insisted that you return with me. I was too unbending. Perhaps if you simply made a visit, stayed for a few weeks. If any news of William comes while you're away, Taylor can always dispatch a messenger.
I don't know, Papa.
It's been a very long while since you've called me Papa. Will you consider it at least?
Of course I will.
Thank you. Sleep well, Elizabeth.
And this is the letter C, and this is the word corn. The sound of it. This is the letter D.
That is the letter E, Mrs. Shields. That is E.
Yes, so it is.
May we go on to the next page?
No, I think that will be as far as we'll go today, children, but we'll do more at our next lesson.
Short lesson.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Everything all right?
My father has withdrawn his edict about my returning with him to Virginia. However, he has now couched it as a visit of undefined length.
Hard to turn down a request like that.
Yes, it is.
Something about it has upset you.
I'm afraid that if I went, and while I was away, William's fate was resolved, well, then I would have a difficult time returning.
You're a grown woman, Elizabeth. You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
So the question is, do you know if someone that size died 3 or 4 months before?
I do. But you're asking me to disturb the dead.
I am. But I ain't asking you to do it for free. We got a deal?
I'm so glad you came by. I've been meaning to bring this to you at the Delaware camp.
Well, the belt I have is perfectly good.
The belt you have is perfectly old.
Well, it suits me fine.
Well, now you have 2 belts.
Good God, Elizabeth. This wilderness has despoiled you even more than I thought possible. It's not enough that you show me such disrespect, but that you would lie to me as well.
I have never lied to you in my life.
Indeed. You tell me the only reason for your staying is to search for your husband, when it is apparent that you couldn't care less whether he is found or no.
If you're saying what I think you're saying.
What I am saying, sir, is that the 2 of you are turning my son-in-law into a cuckold, and that this affair is the reason that my daughter refuses her father's request.
That's not true.
I'm taking you home in the morning, whether you wish to go or not. And I will do so, even if I have to bind you up like a sack of flour. I only hope that when you return to your home in Virginia, you are restored to some small measure of Christian decency. We have nothing more to say to each other, Bumpkin.
Begging your pardon, sir, I believe we do.
This is between my daughter and myself.
No. When you accuse Elizabeth of adultery, you accuse me as well.
Well, then, perhaps there's another purpose for your nightly visits.
No sin has taken place.
This conversation is at an end, sir, as is your relationship with my daughter. Were I a younger man, I would thrash you within an inch of your life. As it is,
What's the matter?
Leave me.
I'll fetch you a doctor.
You do nothing of the sort. I wish no one to know of this.
Well, Elizabeth should know.
No!
She's your daughter.
I do not want her pity. My daughter need only know what I tell her. Do I have your word on that? Your word.
You have it.
Man is smaller than I'd hoped.
Look, Captain, I did the best I could. You owe me 25 pounds.
We will talk about that when he is under the sod. First thing in the morning, I have a distasteful task to perform with his wife.
And so now I know.
I'd think you'd want to know. Now you can let grief out of its locked room.
Can I? Hawkeye, when he was captured, I had no illusions. I grieved then. I have no tears left. If I feel sorrow, it's that my last excuse for remaining here will be buried with him.
Good you're here, Hawkeye. As soon as I finish here, you can give us a hand with this poor old bag of bones.
Tell me something, mister. With all the people out there looking for Mr. William Shields, how come you were the one to find him?
By keeping my ears to the ground.
While your ears were down there, what exactly did you hear?
That the Mingos was willing to trade him.
Well, I heard the French had him.
Well, maybe so, but it was the Hurons he ended up with. No pleasure was neither.
Ready, boys? Let's get him home.
Good-looking cloth he's wrapped up in. You ever see a Mingo blanket wove like that?
It's what they give me. I was too scared to be asking dumb questions. Truth be told, I was lucky to get out with my scalp.
Lord, them savages did him up good. Tore his face clean off.
Isn't that handy?
Well, fate, it seems, has taken a hand.
You could try to seem less pleased.
Whatever reservations I had about William were only as an unwelcome son-in-law. Personally, I bore the man no ill will. Dull as a rock he may have been, but I am assured he was as God-fearing and upstanding as his brother.
Your manner seems to be far more restrained than it was last night.
My concerns of last night are no longer relevant. However, my insistence that you return home with me is no less firm.
Well, I am not prepared to do that.
Are you telling me that I was correct about your infidelity?
I'm telling you no such thing.
Then are you returning with me or no?
I don't know.
May I expect at some point that you will resolve this indecision?
Yes, Father. You may be sure of it.
Why you keep at me with questions?
Just the curious sort, I guess.
Well, like I told the captain, it was 2 days' journey to find him.
North.
Well, sure, North. That's where the Mingos and the Frenchies are, ain't they?
Even though he was buried, he still had the, what was it you called it?
The crest. Turned out it was a ring with the Shields family crest. What are you getting at?
Nothing. Like I said, just curious. It's just not like the Hurons to pass up something as tradable as a ring.
I want my money and I want this fort behind me. That Hawkeye's throwing questions at me like there was tomahawks. Hanging around here is dangerous, to me and you.
Very well. Meet me outside the armory gate in an hour.
And you'll have what's coming to me? All of it?
Set your mind at ease, Mr. Devlin. You will get all that you earned.
Ma'am, condolences.
It would be someone like him to bring William back.
What can I do for you, Elizabeth? I suspect you are not here to pass the time of this sad day.
I have come for William's rings. I'm given to understand that you have them.
Yes. We found no wedding ring. I cannot hand over the family crest quite yet. You see, there are unfortunately practical details to dispose of. The ring is proof of William's demise to whomever is handling the estate, so that my father's patrimony may be released to me. I will make sure you get the ring. My condolences, dear Elizabeth.
And mine to you also, Taylor.
To me?
He was your brother, as well as my husband. Surely you remember that.
You look troubled. I'd think knowing about William would offer you some measure of peace.
I would have thought the same, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Now you're free. You can go back to Virginia.
Why would you tell me that?
Because he's your father. And you owe him your respect and obedience.
I was hoping for a different answer.
It's the only answer I can give. Tell your father you'll go with him, please.
Elizabeth, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Please.
In my valise from long ago, you're...
Oh, Papa.
I saw how much love you gave that doll. I was always envious.
I had no idea.
I never knew how to tell you how much I care. No. How much I loved you. I thought that to show love was to show weakness. I was wrong. Don't wait to say the things you want to say. Or you may never get the chance. Tired. I'll sleep now.
All that the Father bringeth me shall come to me, and he that cometh to me I will in no way cast out. Wherefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. Thou shalt show me the path of life. In thy presence is the fullness of joy, and at thy right hand is there pleasure forevermore. Amen.
Preacher gave a good service.
Yes, he did.
I expect it's a little comfort, but at least he was with you when he passed on.
It meant a great deal to me. My father said things to me that I've waited my whole life to hear.
I expect they meant as much to him to say them.
He talked about there being too much left unsaid because he waited too long. My father is dead, and my husband is too. And there are things that you and I must speak of.
No, Elizabeth. It's not yet time. Of your father's death, I have no doubt. But I can't say the same of William's.
Why do you need further proof?
Because I wish to say things to you, Elizabeth. Things that once said can't be unsaid. Do things that can't be undone. And I can't speak or act if there's the slightest chance that one day William will return.
I need no further proof.
I do.
Then go and find it. For both our sakes.
Afternoon.
What can I get you, Hawkeye?
I'm looking for the man who brought in William Shields' body.
That would be Devlin. Never was a man so aptly named. What he'd done to me.
Well, this Devlin, have you seen him today?
Sadly, I have. About an hour ago, he had a tankard or two. Then he left.
Alone.
As far as I know.
Much obliged. Who'd you meet with?
The ring.
No, you can't. Hawkeye, you can't go in there. No. Sorry, sir.
What reason, sir, for your rude entrance? I assume you have one.
I'm not sure, but I have a glimmer. I just brought Devlin in, and he's dead.
Leave us. I was told he had left for Albany.
He never made the trail. He left the fort without pack or mount, and he still has his scalp, Taylor.
Curious.
Isn't it?
What is on your mind, Hawkeye? What is it you are circling with such cautious righteousness?
I believe we buried some poor soul, and it wasn't your brother. Now, William is still out there somewhere. He's dead or alive, I'm not sure. But he's not in the ground outside the fort.
You are accusing me of murdering that man Devlin.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
You must be insane.
Hardly. But you can easily prove me wrong. Show me the ring that you took off your brother.
There. Does that satisfy you?
It will. When you put the one that you've been wearing all these months alongside of it.
And what have I told you? I lost it.
Then I'd have to say I couldn't fairly lay my suspicions to rest.
Well, Scout, then I expect you will have to spend the rest of your life with unrested suspicions. Because Devlin will remain dead, as will the corpse you doubt to be William's. So, I fear there isn't a bloody thing you can ever do about it.
You got me there, Taylor. There's nothing I can do about it. Except this one thing.
You're aware that the penalty for striking an officer is death. Fortunately, at this moment, I do not choose to be an officer.
It's Hawkeye. Sir, everything all right?
Lower your weapons! Leave him to me or I'll see you in front of a firing squad! Now get back!
Now, shall we continue?
What is this about?
Tell her, Shields.
I don't know how to put this, Elizabeth. At the risk of hurting you even more, it seems we have all been deceived.
Deceived by whom?
The man who brought the body here and said it was your husband's was motivated by greed.
He had the ring.
My ring. I had lost it some days ago. Evidently, he found it and concocted this plot with the vain hope of some expected reward.
And this quarrel between the two of you?
A difference of opinion between gentlemen.
Hawkeye?
Certainly a difference of opinion.
The time Papa and I had together, brief as it was, has given me a sense of peace and fulfillment I never would have thought possible. And I pray that William will be found soon, once and for all. It is my hope that he still be alive, but even if he were to have found a merciful death, it would be better than this agony of not knowing, not being able to close this chapter in my life. I feel more surely than ever that there is a life for me with the woodsman, and I find myself more and more anxious for it to begin soon. I pray that it is soon.